Good morning, world. We are in Johnson Valley, California for the King of the Hammers.
Today is the big dance. There's 99 amazing race cars lined up for the start of this race.
We've got the biggest afternoon of racing that we've had all week long.
And there's Cody Miller. Cody is in the Can-Am. He's going out and he's racing with the big boys in 4400. The car is legal to race. It's unlimited class.
It's got a third of the motor.
They brought a spoon to a gunfight.
Everything good? Perfect. Attitude, roll 25.
It's not over yet. Oh, yeah. It's going to be down to the wire. I mean,
yeah, we're going to stick with our line over there. And honestly, I think under the Bronco Arch, the line we took was better. I just came into it too hot and hit all those rocks. Today's qualifying day for 4400. Just took cars out, did a little shakedown.
Some of the big heavy hitters in Power Hour, do you really want to be in Power Hour?
The current leader's like a 221. Power Hour guys will probably be running like 2 minutes, I bet. Yeah. King of the Hammers can definitely be a bit overwhelming. Actually, it could be completely overwhelming. This is going to be our third year, so we're starting to grasp it a little bit, but it's crazy.
It's rough. It changed quite a bit. Good luck, boys.
King of the Hammers is, at this point, turned into like a 2-week festival of fun and dirt and off-road racing. About 500 cars racing over either just desert or desert and rocks. Pretty brutal most of the times, and a lot of pretty awesome racing.
King of the Hammers is so much more alive than any of these other events that I've been to. There's a lot of pressure leading up to this. You know, it's months and months to get prepared.
Trying to learn the rock trails that we're doing. We're trying to figure out exactly what trails we're even doing. We've got, 40 mouths to feed for 2 weeks. I mean, there's so many moving parts to it that all have to be planned out perfectly.
And the car's real jerky on takeoff. It's like like it's shuddering.
It'll run. It's not going to hurt anything.
I'll put a new belt in and we'll just finish it out. Probably brought 20 extra belts with us this week, and this will only be my second one to go through since we've been out here. So initially going into the King of the Hammers, we thought, cool, it's a UTV race. We're going to go out there. We're going to compete.
We're racing the UTV class as well as the 4400 Unlimited class.
Nobody's ever won the 4400 race in a UTV, and we're trying to make that happen.
The Ultra 4 4400 class is really kind of the last truly unlimited racing. You can have a 900 horsepower car that's whatever size you want it to be, on any size tires you want it to be, any engine configuration you want, including racing UTVs.
Yeah, it's very intimidating racing against those trucks. They could literally run right over you.
Qualifying, I'm going to go out there and go as hard as I can without going overboard, I guess. Realistically, I hope for a top 20 overall qualifier. Some of the bigger IFS cars are going to be faster than us, I think, in the desert, although it is crazy rough.
make sure you race to the checkered flag, all right?
Okay.
All right, Hunter Miller off the line here. I want to see what these Can-Ams stack up. I was actually full on 4400 at the time the Can-Ams ran the first time, and I thought they don't belong there. It's a UTV. They are legitimately competitive in the rocks. They're fast, they're nimble, they're quick. Good.
Some guys are not into us being out there.
9.044. That's pretty impressive. That's second place.
As far as I know, the only UTVs entering the class are myself, my brother, and Kyle Chaney. Right now I'm sitting second overall, Kyle's third. I'm sure we'll fall back after Power Hour and stuff start. Cody's coming up. It'd be real cool if all the X3s were taking off together and we didn't have so much dust from the big cars.
It's quite honestly, it's a little bit of a thing right now inside of our racing community, because there's a lot of people with ruffled feathers that don't like UTVs come in. We've had a few other UTVs race over time, but until Cody came out and raced, we hadn't seen anyone really go after it. Cody I'm going to the top of the podium. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to win this race.
The first year the Millers came out, I think it was 2020. Hunter won, I got second, and Cody had a really bad race.
I had a bolt break, and so it put me out of the race right at the beginning. My buddy said, hey, why don't you just go race against those trucks? I was like, we can race against the trucks?
Okay, if you look in your screen here, coming up behind him, that is Cody Miller.
He stayed and raced 4400, and we all thought he was crazy.
This is very interesting. Somebody's bringing literally a knife to a gunfight.
When Cody told me that he was going to do the 4400 class, I was a little terrified for him.
Chocolate Thunder. Oh!
And it was extremely intimidating, but we had a really successful run.
To Cody Miller. Check that out for a piece of driving.
Videos start coming out of Cody actually making passes on those big trucks on the rocks when they're all hung up.
And in the Can-Am, Cody Miller still moving along. This is unbelievable. As you joked, you said bringing a knife to a gunfight. I mean, he's on his third lap. He is running a phenomenal race.
He opened a lot of eyes, including mine, and that's what led us to where we are now. right, that truck's flipped over and they're about to get going again, I think.
We finished like 11th place that year. It was an eye-opener for everybody. You know, nobody thought a UTV could finish the 4400 race, much less compete.
Cody Miller off the line. You know, as we watch these UTVs rip through this qualifying course, he is definitely quick.
Whenever we were younger, my dad and mom were spending money they didn't have to allow us to go racing, and my dad had a serious conversation with my brother and I. He said, I'll allow y'all to race, I'll support you to race, but only if you're going to do it to the best of your ability and try and make something out of it. Put everything you've got into it and you can succeed, so we did.
Oh, it sucked. My pumper hose fell off my helmet and my lens just immediately fogged over. That wasn't the qualifier I wanted.
Oh, it's just so aggravating.
I didn't see you make a single mistake.
I was just going slow.
Just because you couldn't see?
I feel like I really blew that one.
Qualifying went good. I surprisingly qualified 7th. 7th is good. I'll be taking off on row 4.
For some reason, I was 3 seconds slower than Hunter, but by and large, I finished 18th by the end of it all, or 19th.
Yeah, it's prep time now. Everybody's just getting the race cars prepped up for tomorrow, so a lot of work. We are running the same chassis for the UTV race and the 4400 race. We'll replace all of the driveline. It's just going through the entire car with fine-tooth comb to make sure that there's absolutely no problems with the car.
You know, it's a bit of a different mindset. In the UTV race, everyone expects us to do very well along with ourselves, but the 4400 class is just way more pressure, you know. It's trying to do something that hasn't really been done, and no matter what, right now there's just extremely large amounts of pressure, so.
It absolutely feels like it's worth it. I mean, of course it's a ton of work, but pretty revolutionary. Let's show how awesome these X3s actually are, because they're racing against $500,000 vehicles that are 3 times the horsepower and suspension travel, and look what they can do.
Get this bad boy slapped back together and we go into sleep, hopefully. Car's got to be on the line at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, so I'll need to be up at about 6. Start getting mentally prepared. Got a big day.
I am beat up from yesterday. No anxiety yet. I think that'll kick in probably tomorrow morning sometime.
What's the chance of you wrecking something if you've got a winch holding you up?
Something happened and going doo, doo.
We're not expected to win, so if we do, then it's mind-blowing.